Hello. Today I'll be talking about how slow beam goes. In terms of slow-mo, well, could talk about other types of slow, but my intention is to talk about slow-mo. Well, I guess the intention is like that you as a viewer enjoy watching it or something, but more just watch it generally. So, I'm guessing that you can use slow-mo in Beam. And unlike some other physics engines and games, it doesn't actually slow the game down. It does make it easier for you to swerve your wheels in slow-mo, not spin out, than it is in real time. And default slow-mo speed is 8 times, which I still have it on because it's a default, like I said, and I can't really be bothered changing it every time I play the game. And it is about the right speed, it seems, for what you want. Not too slow and not too fast. So I'll show you a big crash in 8 times speed, but big crashes like this can somewhat be done in a higher amount, like that brutal slow pull leap of death, the modded maps. By the way, this is Cadort Island, I believe. But yeah, big crashes can be done at slower speeds and still look good. Like this one, I could have done it at a slower speed and it wouldn't have been way too slow. So, I think the SUV's broken now. And you saw it in 8 times slow-mo. So, I'll tell you about all the different speeds of slow-mo. Not types, said that before. And what you can do with them and some other stuff. And then I'll get into the slightly more interesting bits in a few minutes, 5 or so maybe. So, you of course go into slow-mo and go out of slow-mo. And can use... yeah, you can use keyboard shortcuts to do that. Go slower to 1,000 times slower if you really want, or just I'll show you a crash in 200 times slower because 500 and 1,000 are just a bit jolty and not really useful for actually watching crashes in. So I guess I'll find a rock now. So I don't know if you can hear because I don't really have the game set to that loud. And I could turn it up, but I can't be bothered having to redo an entire video just because I have the game volume a bit off. But the sounds do get slowed down as well. Yeah, and I do get a bit bored, partway through the crash, if it's a multi-stage crash, but this one isn't really. If the crash is in too slow of a motion, but yeah. Just for this, I'm just going to turn it back down to 8, because it's not really that big of a crash compared to the original. The car definitely doesn't drive now, and it's a lot of damage. Yeah, the seats in the interior camera. Yeah, so of course there's 8 times you can turn it on and off, and if you try and turn the speed down while you're already in real time, then it doesn't do anything. It just says real time in the top left. You could put something in the top right. In fact, if you like watching it or whatever, you could like and subscribe and stuff. So if you try and turn it down while it's in real time, it'll just say real time. And then you can make it slower from there, going all the way up. Going all the way up to 1.33, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 50, 100, 200, 500, 1000. And it's quite nice, as you saw earlier. Like if you start turning it down and then it gets to real time and you turn it back on, it'll go like, it won't keep like 1.33 unless if you're on it for a bit. Like now it's on 1.33. So I'll also go through like when these were added, because the originals are 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 and 100, and in like 2 updates or so ago in the covert update, 1.33 was sort of added, but I'll come back to that later. And then also 50, which is sort of there because there isn't a 64, which I would have thought made sense. But yeah, 50 instead, which is fine. And then 200, 500 and 1000 were added also in the covert update. So you can also see that like things like that smoke or the waves do get affected by slow-mo. So I've got strange key bindings, and for slow-mo it's G. It used to be T, because for some reason, in fact I'll keep that secret for now. Maybe you'll know why it used to be T, if you've played other games like me. But yeah, G's close to T, so I changed it because I kept accidentally hitting reset instead of slow-mo, and it's quite annoying. Not that often, but like sometimes it did, and it would be really annoying. So you can use, by default, it's not G, but there's a ramp here somewhere. I'm going to hit that one. You know what? I'll have an interesting side crash. In fact, you know what? I'll do it this one. I'll do the next bit in 4 times. See, it's just unnatural having a crash in like not 8 times. I want to like pause time and like turn slow-mo on, but it's already turned on. It just feels a bit unnatural having it in 4 times or anything slower than 8, because it just doesn't feel like it's on, but it is. Yeah, 4 times doesn't really seem enough to me, or at least having used 8 times for so long. Then 16 times seems too much, but that is also probably just because I've used 8 times for so long. So by default it's shift and then whatever key it is to, I'm pretty sure this is right, at least it's shift and whatever key it is to make it slower, and control to make it faster. For instance, control G and shift G for me. So now the more interesting bits, because the 1.33 I was talking about earlier, I realised that you could get like 0.33 in replays before, but not 1.33, which is a bit weird. It doesn't really make sense, but it does make sense that they've changed it to make it like more similar to the other ones that are like whole numbers, like not whole numbers, but like odd numbers above 1. So 1.33, to be honest, I somewhat don't even notice it's that little difference, to be honest. And I didn't realise there was that little difference, but there really isn't very much. And I did find it that I was in a replay, that this speed of slow-mo was in a replay sort of by accident. Oh, apparently I've been recording a replay for a long time. Oops. I was going to clear some out, but apparently I didn't get round to it. Also, I will show you something else with replays, and I'll also show you a full speed crash. I'll show you something else with replays and slow motion that wasn't in my replays video, however long ago it was at this point. Actually, no, it was. I'm going to reset this because sometimes the glass and stuff doesn't break properly if you do a replay of it. So anyway, you used to be able to get 0.33 in replays, but not in normal free roam. I hope Jumpation Road. Yeah, I was going to say, I hope the replay loads fine. So going back to this, you can see in 8 times it's nice and smooth, like how you'd expect it to be. And then that is when I turned it into real time, and it gets a bit more jumpy, so it does affect replays whether you have slow-mo on or not. But watching like an 8 times replay in full time is still normal. So I don't think replays have any special slow-mos now. Ooh, that's jiggles quite a bit. Yeah, no. Yeah, well, there's 1.33, but no, nothing slower. Did I just see? Oh, there is 1.5. Oh, 1.5 times faster. I don't know how I got to that, to be honest. If you keep on clicking, like, control... Wait, it doesn't... It won't go... Oh, wait, no, that's... Oh, it does go faster, just... Oh, that's interesting. I was probably seeing 1.33 times faster. I was wondering, I was getting confused, because, like, I don't actually know which slows down and which speeds up. So... And that's slower, so if I do, like... 8 times... Oh, that's quite fast. So I do like that. Oh, that's cool. Also, I really want to turn slow-mo on right now. Like, I want to turn slow-mo on instead of, like, having it faster, but... Okay, so that is slower now. So it's back to normal. And probably exit the replay now, so I can get back to driving about normally. Check my slow-mo's normal. Have I glitched it? No, I was hoping it would be quite cool if I glitched it so I could get like 1.5 times faster, like 8 times faster, like in free roam. Sure, there might be a way to glitch it like that, but I've definitely not done it. It'd be really weird, like, no, just, yeah, having it in, yeah, you can't play games in the opposite of slow-mo. It's just not something you can do. Don't miss the turn in for the road. I mean, I've already done that once, to be honest. So this is like, oh, 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 that was totally supposed to happen. This is like a road sport or something like that, Roma, for rather unique colours. and I've driven it before, and it's surprisingly fun to drive for like an SUV. So yeah, and I don't know if I have anything else to say, so I might leave you there. Nice day. I've already said everything else. Tired, deflated. I have had this vehicle be, well, yeah, this map's had a few weird things happen so far to me. Don't know why. It's a nice 8 times speed crash. And of course you can't just leave it in slow-mo. If you and if you want you can drive in slow-mo, and I'll talk about that for a second actually. If you want to have lots of vehicles spawned in, but it's laggy, you can use slow-mo, and it will usually make it less laggy. Well, it'll be less laggy, and that if you're recording or whatever, you can just speed up the recording. And replays are about as laggy as like actually driving about. So definitely not recording this as a replay, I don't think. Okay, good, I'm not recording a replay again. I need to go and look at how big that file size is, it's going to be annoying. Well, the interior cameras in the shower again. Well, relative technically, because in actual like interior cameras a bit, like driver cameras a bit broken. It's like weird zoomed in and stuff. You don't want to know. Might make another video on it. So with that, might be saying goodbye. Yeah, goodbye.